favorite, Lasso called and I answered. Come with me to deliver the keynote address for Literary Conference 2024. I was ushered into the hall and I can tell you everyone had the right energy. I had to settle in as fast as I could because my presentation was happening almost immediately. My profile was read and I made my way to the stage.
We are Lasso. We are Lasso. Amazing. Please a round of applause for yourself. I think I'm really excited in what I see. I see a lot of people ignited to learn. And of course, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm very, very honored to be attending this first edition of the conference, and even more honored to be delivering a keynote address with the topic, maximizing or harnessing the power of social media as a tool for professional growth. You know, when I got the invitation, I actually had to do a lot of thinking to the time when I was on this campus. And every time I have the opportunity to speak with students, because this is not just last week I get the opportunity to speak with students. I speak with students across different universities. And every single time, I always reminisce on my journey. And I'm also always grateful for what the student community is like right now. Because when we were on campus, we didn't have opportunities like this. We didn't have so many conferences to attend. We didn't have events that would help us on our skill or build us for what is to come in the future. But look at you guys. You have a conference like this where you get to engage with people who are ahead of you. You get to hear from them, learn from them, and understand the realities of the world outside there, away from the four walls of the institution. And I think that when you see organizers that go the extra to put events like this together, you should appreciate them. So please, a round of applause for the organizers of this event. My topic has been resounded a couple of times, and I'm sure you probably have the word, the most familiar word in your head right now. And that word is social media. And I'm sure thinking about my topic, you're probably wondering, why are we even talking about social media? Is it not just TikTok? Is it not just Instagram, right? It's not just Facebook, where we need some catch clues of what to use in social media to me. Well, the thing is, I'm actually very excited to tell you, or maybe let's even go down memory lane a bit. I'm sure you remember that we have come a very long way when it comes to the development of social media. From the days of 2go, who remembers 2go? Were you even born then? Or do we have Gen Zs in the building? Did you used to go? You used to go? Wow! Okay. From the days of 2go to the days of using Facebook to track your village people, where you'll be looking for your uncle, your auntie to send them Facebook requests, right? To the days of BlackBerry Messenger. Did you use that? Never. Yes. How many people use BlackBerry here? Can't see hands. Interesting. What BlackBerry did you use? One small one like this. Can you imagine? The fact that you don't even know the name itself. There was BlackBerry Talk. BlackBerry Core. What other one do we have? BlackBerry Go 2. Yes. Okay, I have quite a number of people who remember BlackBerry. I'm sure you remember that BlackBerry Messenger was a social media tool, right? And then we moved from there to the WhatsApp era. If you remember that era, can I see your hand up? The WhatsApp era, remember that? When we moved from BlackBerry Messenger to WhatsApp, did you transition with us or you met us on the way? You met us on the way. Interesting. I like that you acknowledge the fact that I wondered if you guys are schooling at old age. And then we moved on to the WhatsApp era. So gradually from give me your BB pin, we started going to give me your WhatsApp number. And that's still what we're enjoying today, right? And then from WhatsApp era, we moved to people getting more acclimatized with using Twitter, which is now what? X today. And then Nigerians also got used to making use of YouTube. If you're a YouTuber, can I see your hands up? Can you imagine? People are not maximizing the YouTube market. Don't worry, we will get here and we'll give you gist. And then from YouTube, we have people who are now getting into LinkedIn. If you use LinkedIn, can I see your hand? I know I'll see plenty of hands. I'm happy to announce to you that. Is that not what you do then? I'm happy to announce to you that I just completed my internship. Or I'm happy to announce to you that I just met so today. You know, the LinkedIn hype is also there. And then we also have one more hype, which is the craze of the moment. And that would be what? That would be what? And you guys understand. You understand the transition. Now we have TikTok. So indeed, the transition of social media has actually been a very long journey. However, I need to remind you that you can be making use of social media every day, but you may not be using it for the right reasons or the right way. Social media is called a tool for a reason. You know why? It's called a tool because it's supposed to be your weapon to break down barriers. And when we're talking about barriers, I'm talking about communication barrier, I'm talking about location barrier, time barrier, distance barrier. Do you want to give me another one? What other barrier are we breaking down? What? What other barrier do you think social media is going to help you break? Low self-esteem barrier, because a lot of people are building their confidence with social media. Their exposure, that's another thing you're going to do with social media. So there are quite a number of things that social media is supposed to help you do. But the question is, what barrier are you breaking? I know that when I ask a lot of you here today, your default use of social media is probably to connect with my friends, to share my experience, to check Instablog, Gistlover, and all that stuff. You probably want to stay updated with the trends and the gist, which is actually good. But one thing I need you to understand, that the platform social media, or social media as a tool, is way more than being used for socialization and entertainment. Social media is actually more powerful than that. And that power is what I'm here to encourage you to harness today. Because as a student, if you can understand how to harness and maximize social media from right now, you will definitely be able to find your own ground by the time you transition into the outside world. So I need to ask you, are you ready to learn how you can maximize social media? Are you sure you're ready to learn? Now, the good thing about social media is, no matter what your interest is, no matter what your course of study is, no matter what it is you're currently doing, you can actually use social media to optimize your work. You can use it to push yourself beyond limits. Like I told you, I studied history, I studied law, right? But what am I doing right now? I'm doing something that is totally different from all the many things that I studied. I'm a communicator. I am currently in the communication profession as a PR person, a media person, and all of those things I've been able to do by harnessing the power of social media. So for you today, I'm going to share with you 5 important tips that you should be looking at, using in a bid to ensure that you're not just in school and then the world is leaving you behind, but you're doing all you can to take on the tools that are within your reach to do the great things that you want to do. Let me tell you a bit of a story. Personally for me, I understood the power of social media as far back as 2013. And I think I was in 300 level in history at the time. That time was when I opened Instagram. Even though I had been on Facebook and I've been on Facebook and Twitter since 2008. But in 2013 was when I joined Instagram. And that was when I started using Instagram to tell stories of what I was doing in my daily reality as a debater. So you would see me representing the department for debate competition, you would see me representing the faculty, you would see me representing LASU at national level. And for every time I go for those competitions, I would document it and post it on my social media, my Instagram to be precise. If you scroll down to my Instagram, you will see that my post started from 2013. And from there, you will follow my growth and my work. Now, that was what exposed me to using that tool to tell my story. And guess what that exposure did for me? It was able to connect me with professionals. Because even when I now stylishly transitioned from just being that girl who likes to talk, to being the girl who now talks to make money, from radio to TV to event posting, it was easy for me to continue to use that power that I have learned. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it started from right in school for me. So I'm wondering if you're there and you're not maximizing social media, I'm wondering what you're waiting for. Because if I had started as far back as 2013, and this is 2024, almost 10 years later, then you should know that you're way behind. If you go down to my post, I wish I could show you guys screenshots and stuff like that, you would see how I would post about how I was at a debate, at a conference, and all those stuff. So when I was transitioning to media, radio and TV, it was easy to use that account to reach out to professionals who were also radio and TV persons. And then you know what people will do when you reach out to them? What's the first thing they will do? They will check your profile. And then when they see my profile, they're seeing a girl burning with desire to learn. They're seeing a girl who already understands what it means to tell her own story. And that was the first ways, or the major way I was able to connect with people, right there using Instagram from 2013. So my fourth point for you today is that you need to understand how to use social media to tell your story in a bid to connect with professionals or like minds that will take interest in you. I mean, trust me, it doesn't have to be Instagram. It's not just one platform. I didn't do it only on Instagram. As at 2014, I was an influencer on Twitter. In fact, should I tell you my name on Twitter at the time? Twitter Goddess. That was my name. So you can imagine someone that was bold enough to call herself Twitter Goddess. You can imagine the kind of boldness now. That was my name on Twitter at the time. It was when I now started branding and packaging. I had to change it to my real name so that people don't start mixing up my identity. But from 2014, I was a Twitter influencer. I was already making money from influencing. I was even one of the influencers MTN would use at that time for their product launch. So when MTN wanted to celebrate international days, such as International Women's Day, Cancer Day, and all of those awareness, they would reach out to influencers like us to post about those days using a particular hashtag and pictures from maybe when they have events. And I remember that in 2016, when I got back from service, I was one of the influencers that attended when MTN Pulse launched. I was one of the influencers they invited. All of that you will see on my Instagram page. So I'm saying that to say that it doesn't have to be one platform. For me at the time, I was maximizing a lot of platforms. I was doing what I can to take territories on different platforms with different personality at the time. But right now, I have a single personality that I understand what the brand should be like right now. So you might not see me doing a lot of things that I used to do at the time. You people, you've not even started there, giving me time. Alright, so that's one thing you need to know. The first point, like I said, is to do what? Is to use it to tell your story so that you can connect with who? Professionals and like minds. The second thing I need you to understand is social media will help you definitely stay connected with trends and some of the things that you need to know about your circle, your profession, your interests. But when we say trends, I'm not talking about Instagram kind of trends or Instablog kind of trends. I'm not talking about this other kind of trends. I'm saying that beyond just sitting on social media to do that boy, oh, he's a good dancer, oh, his skills has dropped. Apart from doing all of those things and enjoying all those entertaining stuff, you need to find value. Now, people are there creating content for you, making their own money. You spend 100% of your time to consume content. Please, who are you doing? Are you doing them or are you doing yourself? You're doing yourself. So you need to draw the line between just being on social media for entertainment and using social media to better your own lot. Remember, this is about you. It's not about any other person. This is first about you. Because if you don't recognize this power, you will not be able to use it for anything. So you need to ensure that you use it to stay updated with the things that will advance your career and your interests. And like I said, it cuts across every interest, regardless of what you are or who you are. Another thing that you need to do with social media is to see it as a platform for learning and acquiring skills. Now, I'm going to stay here for a bit. As a person, I would usually brag that 80% of the things I know, I learned from social media. 80% of the things I know right now are self-taught. I taught taught myself through the use of social media. So you would see me on YouTube trying to learn how to create content. You would see me on YouTube trying to learn how to edit content. Nobody taught me editing. I do editing professionally. If you see my content, you said you know now. I don't do any other content, whether fashion content, whatever content, I make sure I put life into it. And I learned all these things on my own. Coming through to logical skills, hand skills, and so many other things. So you should see social media as a platform for acquiring new skills. And you don't see these days, you don't even have to pay for a lot of trainings. Because there are so many free materials and free trainings on social media. I don't know if you guys learn on platforms like Coursera. Do you know Coursera? You guys should take use of platforms like that. They would help you learn a whole lot of things outside of the four walls of the university. And remember, it is not the book you learn in school that will help you be a better person out there. I hope you know. I hope you know. What being in school will do for us is to help us be logical thinkers. But out there, you need real skills. And those real skills you can actually develop with the help of social media. I'm giving you 3, right? Number 4, you need to use social media to build meaningful connections. I know I talked about connecting with professionals earlier on, but this time I'm talking about building a community of people that will help advance your work. You know, when I left school in 2014, that's my first degree before I came back. I went to service 2015. I came back from service 2016. When I came back from service, I didn't have to look for a job. Guess what? The people who got me jobs when I go back are people I met online. People I met on Twitter would recommend me for jobs. And my first job after I came back from NYC was actually a job as a customer service representative at NairaBet. You guys know NairaBet, right? Yes. I worked there as a customer service representative because that was the job I was training at that time, being a customer service representative. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. In fact, when I was there, I was a trailblazer because most times when I'm in the space, I would give all my best. I was a trailblazer and I was getting staff of the month. And I was almost considering doing a master's in customer relationship and something. Because I just felt like, oh, this could be an option for me. So people were recommending me for jobs. I've never applied for any job. It always comes through recommendation, or people meet me up somewhere and they offer me jobs. Now, remember, when you build a community around yourself through the use of social media, you'll be able to get opportunities like this. Now, let me ask you, who are you following? Ask your friend, who are you following? Who are you following? Who is following you? Eh? Are you just following all the blogs and all the skit makers and all the people you follow matter? There should be people that will add value to you. So remember, social media will help you build meaningful connections and community. And finally, number 5, or maybe before finally, number 5, I needed to know that you can also use social media to build relatable online presence for yourself. And when I say relatable online presence, I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people are looking for value. And you must be the go-to person for value. Now, don't see this as being limited to a particular space. You guys know Diary of a Kitchen Lover. What does she do? Food content, right? You know Apropos Doctor. Who is he? A medical doctor. What does he do? Medical stuff. So it means that we are currently in a liberated era where you can create content with anything you're currently doing right now. I mean, there is also me, Moyosoro Lua, who creates content for budding media persons or media enthusiasts, MCs, and young people generally, helping them to understand what they need to know. So, whatever your interest is, whether you're studying fishery, if you want to practice fishery after you finish school, be making content with your fish. People will watch. Who they watch? So no matter how ridiculous you think the course you're currently studying is, there is a market for you. And that's what I want you to understand today. Now, I need you to also know that not everybody will be a 9 to 5 person. Do you believe that? If I ask you here now, I'm sure not everybody wants to do a 9 to 5 job. And social media can give you the liberation to do that. Because there are people on social media who are currently monetizing their content. That's their own job. And that's why people would confidently say, I'm a content creator. Can you tell your parents 10 years ago that you want to be a content creator? No, it was not a job, but now it is a job. So if you want to live within that space, then you need to start right now because you can monetize whatever it is you're doing. I started monetizing my content a while back. In fact, when I learned on YouTube, my life changed. Because when I started YouTube in 2019, but I got serious in 2020, it was like a joke. I just wanted a place where I can post long content, but Instagram was limited to 30 seconds video, 1 minute video. I wanted a place where I could post longer content for people, especially young people who wanted to learn from me. That was why I started YouTube. But somehow I found out that I love to review movies, so I started doing movie reviews. And sometimes I get as high as 300,000 views, 100,000 views. I mean, it was mind-blowing. Before I knew it, my YouTube channel got monetized. I earn in dollars on YouTube. So if you have been hearing it before and you think it's a joke, it's not. It's actually reality. Even though 2024 is after my life, I've not been creating content like I used to. I just reviewed my last dollar, I think sometime last month or something. The money will always be there, accumulating. Even when I am not posting right now, people are still on my YouTube watching my videos. By the way, they say 7,000 subscribers. I now have over 10,000 subscribers. Yes. Without doing anything, I'll just be in my room, creating my content. Did you ever see that movie? That movie, give it a 5/10. That's what I used to do on YouTube. I'm not spending 1 naira. I mean, I've never owned a ring light. I've never bought ring light in my life. But I always find a way to create my content. So you need to be sure of what you want to do. Explore. This is the stage for you to explore. Be on every platform you want to be. On the long run, you will find what you want to do with that platform. Do you understand? Do you understand? Now, social media is good, but social media is also a two-edged sword. Do you know that? Social media is a two-edged sword. So while you're making use of social media, you need to also be careful. And here are some things I need you to do and always guard your heart with. Because there are so many voices on social media and I don't want you to get drowned by the several voices and several opinions. So what should you do? One, you need to set boundaries. You need to set boundaries and prioritize your mental health. Why do you think that people come out of BB Nigeria and start saying that they want to commit suicide? It's because social media can be very toxic, right? So when you're creating content with social media, make sure that you're also guarding your territory, because if you blow, the pressure will come with you as well. So set boundaries and prioritize your mental health. Another thing you need to always remember is to be authentic. You need to be authentic and genuine with your online interactions. If there's one thing you would know about me and my followers will tell you, it is the fact that I know the sugarcoat. I am my real self. If I am sad today, I can go to my story and explain how I feel, and people will relate. I don't only show happiness, because trust me, you can't be happy all the time. So you need to be genuine. That is the only way you will connect with people that you are, talking to on social media. You need to also avoid comparison and focus on your journey. First, social media has a way of drawing us in to the point that we start seeing the success of other people and we get threatened. So while you're making use of social media, make sure you focus on your journey. Like I would always say, people around me will know, and my followers will always say it as well. I would say focus on your focus. Tell your friend, focus on your focus. Focus on your focus. So as much as you are scrolling through the timeline and you are seeing people's success, you are seeing success, and it's looking like your life is stagnant, remember, you are on a journey. And you need to focus on your what? On your focus. You need to also learn to use privacy settings when you have to, in a bid to protect your personal information. Because like they always say, whatever has good also has what? Also has bad. So as I wrap up, ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly tell you a story. I told you the story of how we transitioned from different social media era, right? Now, when I joined Instagram in 2013, apart from my personal page, because when I joined Instagram, I said that people were just posting 5 pictures. So apart from my personal page, I also opened another page that I call trendy_style or trend_style, right? That's what I call it. And what I will do with that page is to just feature people who look good, fashion, style and fashion and all of that. And before I knew it, that page blew up, right? Because you know that it was 2013 that a lot of Nigerians started using Instagram. So the page blew up. And guess what? Instead of keeping up with the momentum that I had, I got tired. And I said at the point, I was like, a year later, I gave my friend the page and I was like, oh, I just change the username and use it for a personal account. You know what that trendy_style is today? It is your Bella Nigerians of today. It is your Ashwabi Bellas of today. While I had a powerful tool in my hand, I discarded it because I didn't know how to make use of it. But some people got the same vision and they were able to stay with it. And guess what? They are making mad money. Do you know how many followers Bella Nigeria has? Do you know how many followers Ashwabi Bella and all those people have? Those people that do fashion content and all of that. But I had the same platform and I discarded it. So I'm saying that to say that there are times when you will have a tool in your hand and you don't know how to make use of it. Now, this is a point of reflection for you. So remember that whatever you have right now, you need to make the best use out of it. I'm sharing my personal experience. It might be painful. Maybe that trend that's for style now probably have 1 million followers by now. But it is what it is. I've moved on to greater things. I'm doing better stuff. But when you remember things like that, you would ask yourself, I wish I had known better. So, before it gets to that point for you, when you start telling yourself, I wish I knew better, this is me coming to you as a voice to say that that tool in your hand, that weapon in your hand, which is social media, is worth more than just sitting on TikTok and doing TikTok challenge. Well, if you want to be a TikTok content creator, that works because you can blow from there and make money from there. But if that is not what you want to do and you're just consuming content, then you are making the wrong decision. Because while you're consuming content, you need to also learn to give value with the same platform so that your own name too can be on the sand of time. Remember also that the people you know that are doing great things are not necessarily people who have all the good skills. The people who you know that currently have influence are not probably people that are better than you. That's what they have. What they make use of the most is consistency. And the world actually bows not just to influence, but to consistent people. So stay consistent, keep doing what you have to do, and take the world by storm. Thank you very much.